In other words, a life concern for the poor and doing justice for the vulnerable is the inevitable sign of justifying faith. Now, why is that the case? I would like to give you 3 or 4 reasons, and then I'm done. The first reason is this: the doctrine of justification by faith alone will eventually change your attitude toward justice. Now, here's what I want you to think about. If you believe, I think if I'm a good person, God will accept me, which is the way most people in the country who believe in God, that's what they think. They say, if I'm a good person, God will accept me, and He'll take me to heaven. Now, you realize what a low view of the law of God that is? If you think you can please God through moral efforts, you think you can do that, then your understanding of the law of God, the bar's down here, and you can climb over it or jump over it or whatever. But the doctrine of justification by faith goes like this: God is so holy, and you fall so far short, because His law, He says you have to love God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind. And you have to love your neighbor as yourself. And Jesus expounds the law. You've heard it said, thou shalt not kill, but if you just despise your friend, your neighbor in your heart, it's like you've killed him. You've heard, thou shalt not commit adultery, but if you lust after somebody, you've committed adultery. So the doctrine of justification pushes your understanding of the law of God and the justice of God up so high. It says the only way that you're going to be saved is if God Himself comes and dies for you. Nothing less than the death of the Son of God can even save you. That pushes your understanding of justice and of the law of God way up here. God will not overlook His justice. He will not overlook His law. He had to go to the most unbelievable lengths to save us because of that. What does that mean? Once you grasp the doctrine of justification by faith, you realize that justice matters to God. That exploitation and evil and injustice matters to God. Now, because you're saved by grace, there's an enormous balance here. Because when you know you're saved by grace, you cannot be condescending to perpetrators of injustice, because you know that you were the perpetrator of the ultimate injustice, which was rebelling against God, and yet God saved you. So on the one hand, you go out in the world saying, hey, justice matters. God is not going to overlook these things. He cares about justice, and yet you're not going to have the self-righteous pride against perpetrators of injustice that a lot of people have.